Today on Public Eye News, a Wexford County man is sentenced up to 50 years in prison on criminal sexual conduct charges. But first, Attorney General Dana Nessel is fighting back against a possible statewide AI law ban.
Coming up, Luke Niddle has your weather forecast, where we'll take a look at conditions for the week ahead. Later, Emma Maratz has your sports breakdown highlighting the latest in NMU athletics. I'm Karen Healy.
And I'm Jacob Heston. This is Public Eye News. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is pushing back against a proposal that would prevent the state from creating its own artificial intelligence laws. Nessel says the plan, which was introduced by Republican lawmakers, would tie Michigan's hands at a crucial moment, thus limiting the state's ability to respond to emerging risks around AI, data privacy, and digital security. Her office argues that with AI developing so quickly, Michigan needs the flexibility to craft rules that protect residents, especially when it comes down to consumer safety and preventing misuse. Supporters of the bill say a statewide ban would ensure uniform standards and reduce regulatory confusion by leaving AI oversight to the federal government. Nessel counters that waiting on Washington could leave Michigan unprepared for the challenges ahead, urging lawmakers to maintain the state's authority to act now. Also, Upper Peninsula Power Company says crews are making steady progress restoring electricity after the powerful Thanksgiving storm that swept across the UP. Officials say heavy, wet snow and strong winds brought down trees, power lines, cutting service to thousands of customers across multiple counties. The UPCO reports that line crews, damage assessors, and tree clearing teams have been working around the clock since the storm hit, with additional support brought in from outside the region. The company says many of the hardest hit areas are in remote, heavily wooded terrain, which has slowed restoration efforts, but has not stopped them. Customers are urged to stay clear of downed lines and report outages as crews continue repairing damage. UPCO says it expects restoration to steadily improve throughout the weekend as weather conditions stabilize.
In Sault Ste. Marie, the International Bridge recently had its annual inspection, which was followed by a meeting to discuss the results. The International Bridge was reported to be in good condition overall, with credit given to the maintenance personnel who have worked to ensure that the bridge is in better standing than other bridges of the same age. The inspection did find that there is corrosion, paint loss, railing damage, and some deck cracking on the bridge. The inspectors reported this as typical wear and tear for a 63-year-old structure of this kind. Repairs to these damages have now been scheduled in already planned maintenance, and the International Bridge Authority Board also decided its officers for the upcoming year, which is composed of 4 Michiganders and 4 Canadians. The board meets 4 times per year, and more information can be found on the website at siouxbridge.com. With the holidays and festive gatherings upcoming, pet owners should keep in mind some best practices for taking care of their furry friends. The Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has issued some reminders to help keep pets safe. Pet owners should take care to monitor the food intake of their pets, including keeping them away from grapes and raisins, onions, chocolate, and fatty foods, including meat fat. They also recommend preventing pets from getting into the trash or festive decorations that could be harmful to them if consumed. Finally, with many people traveling for the holidays, pet owners should take extra care to make sure their pets have the right accommodations along the way and at their destination. If owners have any questions or concerns, they should reach out to their preferred veterinarian. After a holiday weekend of winter storms all across the country, many flights are either being delayed or canceled. Darius Johnson of WBBM News tells us about the status of current flights and what to expect with more snow looming in the forecast.
Hi there. Travelers who are slowly making their way to Chicago O'Hare Airport this morning are dealing with the aftermath of this weekend's brutal storm while now bracing for new impacts as we are expecting more snow later on this afternoon. Right now here at Chicago O'Hare, there are nearly 200 delays and more than 60 cancellations. Meanwhile, over at Chicago Midway, more than a dozen delays and no cancellations. Saturday's historic snowfall led to nearly 1,500 cancellations and more than 1,000 delays across Chicago's 2 airports. Sunday, the busiest travel day following the Thanksgiving holiday, resulted in more than 500 cancellations and more than 2,000 delayed flights. 2 separate ground stops were issued over the weekend, one at Chicago Midway when a Southwest jet slid off a taxiway into the grass, and another at O'Hare because of snow and ice. This morning, travel troubles continue and passengers continue to bear the brunt of the impact. Now we know there's another round of snow expected later this afternoon that could only create another impact on travel when it comes to delays and cancellations. I know we say this all the time, but really is one of those days where you want to give yourself some extra time, and you also want to check your airline's app before heading to the airport. I'm Darius Johnson at Chicago O'Hare.
Now don't go anywhere. Luke Niddle will have your weather report when we return.
Brisket, bagels, blintzes. Jewish cooks have preserved family recipes for generations.
Recipes really connect people.
These are our family legacy.
It's history and geography and family, and it's everything, and you eat it.
My mouth is literally watering.
Join us for Family Recipe, Jewish American style.
Monday night at 9:30 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm your anchorman, Luke Niddle, and I'll be taking you through our weather report for today. Taking a look at the campus cam behind me, as you can see, a lot of white on the ground and a lot of gray in the sky, so you can see the holidays are just around the corner. Can you believe it's December already? But taking a look now into the map of all the conditions around the Upper Peninsula, as you can see, quite a bit of gray across that as well. Seems to be the story for today. Starting off in Houghton, it is 18 degrees. Over in Ironwood, 16. The sun pokes out just a little bit. Down in Iron Mountain, 19 degrees. Down south of Menominee, it is 21 degrees. Taking a look towards the eastern side of our board, over in Escanaba, it is 21 degrees. In Manistee, 24. In the Sioux, 22 degrees. And back in our lovely Marquette, 18 degrees and cloudy. Taking a closer look into those current conditions, we have winds coming out of the southwest at 14 miles an hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.14 inches and falling. Tonight, those clouds are going to stick around with a low of 12 degrees. Winds southwest at 10 miles an hour, and our moon phase is going to be a waxing gibbous. Tomorrow, that sun is finally going to come out with a high of 26, a low of 21, and those winds west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Taking a look towards the rest of our week and heading into Friday, Wednesday, high of 26, a low of 7, oh my goodness, with some snow showers. On Thursday, high of 16, low of 12, with some mostly cloudy skies, and a 30% chance of snow showers in the morning. On Friday, high of 25, low of 17, with some clouds. That's all I have for the weather report. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Luke, for an exhilarating weather report there. Let's push into statewide news. Attorney General Dana Nessel says a Dighton man has been sentenced to 30 to 50 years in prison after being convicted on multiple counts of criminal sexual conduct involving a minor. The sentence follows a thorough investigation that began after concerns were reported to authorities. Prosecutors say the evidence showed a pattern of abuse that lasted several years, leading to 35-year-old Ryan Beebe's conviction on several felony charges. Nessel called the case a reminder of her office's commitment to protecting vulnerable victims and pursuing offenders who exploit children. The Attorney General's office thanks local law enforcement and the victims' advocates who helped bring the case forward. Beebe will now serve his sentence with the Michigan Department of Corrections. Also, Dana Nessel is launching her annual holiday consumer protection campaign aimed at helping shoppers avoid scams during the busy gift-buying season. Nessel says the time of year often brings a surge of fake online stories, misleading ads, and phishing attempts targeting people looking for holiday deals. The campaign offers tips on how to spot fraudulent websites, protect personal information, and recognize warning signs like pressure to pay with gift cards or unusual shipping promises. Her office is also reminding residents to check product reviews, verify charities before donating, and monitor bank statements closely. Nessel says staying vigilant can prevent costly mistakes and keep the holidays focused on family, not fraud. Her office has posted additional resources and reporting tools on its website at michigan.gov/AG. President Trump is back in Washington, D.C. today after spending the Thanksgiving weekend in Florida. While flying back to the nation's capital, the president confirmed that he had recently spoken with Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro, but he declines to provide details of their conversation. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
Aboard Air Force One Sunday night, President Trump spoke about his recent pressure campaign on Venezuela.
Because we consider Venezuela to be not a very friendly country.
On social media over the weekend, the president wrote, quote, "Please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety." Since early September, the U.S. has carried out close to 24 strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific Ocean. On Sunday, Democratic and Republican lawmakers expressed support for congressional reviews of the U.S. military operations.
Why strike rather than interdict. If you know where the ships are, you can interdict, and when you do, you get evidence.
And raising new legal concerns, the Washington Post reported that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth issued a verbal order for all crew members to be killed as part of an attack on September 2nd. CBS News has not independently confirmed the Washington Post's reporting.
Obviously, if that occurred, that would be very serious, and I agree that would be an illegal act.
I don't know anything about it. He said he did not say that, and I believe him.
On Friday, Hegseth called the reporting fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory, adding that current operations in the Caribbean are lawful under both U.S. and international law. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And after this short break, Emma Moratz will have a NMU basketball recap with today's sports breakdown. We'll be right back.
It's you I like. Hi, I'm Michael Keaton. Come to the Mr. Rogers neighborhood and celebrate the programs that have inspired more than 4 generations of children and parents.
Oh, I love this is the one where you blow really, really hard.
It's really magic. It's so far beyond just entertainment.
Well-known friends share their heartfelt memories on Mr. Rogers, It's You I Like.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Emma Moratz here with your Monday Sports Breakdown. Starting on the court, the NMU women's basketball team defeated Minnesota Crookston in a 78-63 final. The Wildcats were dominant the entire game, with Addison Podolski putting up 15 points, with Alyssa Hill adding 13 more for the Cats. The Green and Gold also dominated the rebound battle 23-1. The Wildcats were physical all around in the matchup, besting UMC in the paint 18-6. NMU has their first GLIAC matchup against a 4-3 Parkside squad, who dropped their last contest to number 5 Minnesota State. Tip-off is set for Thursday, December 4th at 5:30 p.m. on the road. Sending it over to the ice rink, the NMU hockey team faced off against number 14 Minnesota State, where the team ended the weekend in defeat, with Saturday's final score being 2-3. In the second game of the weekend, the Green and Gold held MSU to a single point. The first point of the game was from NMU, where Mikey Burchill scored on a power play chance. Graydon Slipik also scored for Northern, scoring his first goal of the 2025-26 campaign. The Mavericks scored a power play goal in the second to secure a win over Northern. Goalie William Graham had over 33 saves during gameplay. The Wildcats hit the road to face off against Bowling Green, where they still are looking for their first win of the season. Hustling back to basketball, the NMU men's team had a pretty good weekend. The Wildcats secured an impressive victory over Minnesota Duluth, handing the Bulldogs their second loss of the season. Caleb Swick has been a lethal weapon for the Bulldogs, averaging 22 points per game. But the Green and Gold's stingy defense was able to hold him to just 3 points. Lockdown defense was the catalyst for the Cats' 79-53 victory, propelling them to an impressive 4-1 start to the season. The men follow the women to Kenosha, Wisconsin on Thursday, as they also will be opening GLIAC play against Parkside, tipping off at 8:30 p.m. That's all I have for sports. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Emma, for that sports report. Now, unfortunately, our hockey team has not been doing as amazing as we would like, but I'm really hoping that in the next few years, as NMU grows and continues, we will get a lot better. Yes. But I hear that you have one more story for us today.
That's right, Jacob, I do. This cold and flu season, it might help to refresh yourself on the symptoms of different illnesses. The UP Health Systems remind the public that a common cold starts slowly with sneezing, congestion, and a sore throat, while the flu can come on rapidly and often includes a fever. UPHS also encourages those with symptoms to stay home if you're feeling sick and keep your hands and shared surfaces clean.
Kieran, speaking of feeling sick, many times in the show before it has been mentioned that my Chicago Bears are a fraudulent franchise, and I would like to set the record straight here today. The Bears are 9-3 at the best seat in the National Football Conference. And that's just an amazing feat now, isn't it?
It is, yep.
That seems to be all we have today for Public Eye News. My name is Jacob Heston.
I'm Kieran Healy.
We will see you guys next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.